Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, and I'm extremely thrilled to be here today. So, just before I got on the stage, I was checking my phone to understand what's the average time that I've been spending on the mobile on a daily basis. And I'm guilty of a 5.5 hours minimum. How many of us, with a show of hands, are on the plus of a 5.5? Yeah. I don't think it's just those many, but okay, I'll go with that. So, having said that, the minute you think about the time spent on the mobile devices increase, you'll think it's a great opportunity for probably brands today to capture attention of their advertisers. But it's really not that simple because it's a very fragmented world. And before you need your user to engage with the ad, they need to be fully paying attention to the ad. They should have got an opportunity to see the ad, right? And with that, we all know that today the third party cookies are deprecating. Your end advertisers, your users are becoming more and more smart. They want to have more data privacy control on their data. So, with this problem, how can today brands ensure that they can grab more attention of their end users in such a complexity? So we're going to be walking through something called as DV authentic attention, which aims at solving this problem. But before I talk about attention, I think it will be really helpful to first understand what are the four core pillars of media quality, right? Starting with fraud, is my ad served to a real human and not a bot? Correct? If so, did they get a chance to actually see the ad? And was it in the brand safe environment that matches my brand ethos in the designated geo? So while we'll all think that, okay, we've heard of fraud, viewability, geo, unfortunately, we're all guilty of treating them in silos, right? For my media quality to be good, it must include all four of them. So it must be brand fraud free, brand safe, viewable, and in the right geo. Awesome, which brings me to the hero product of DoubleVerify. So we developed DV Authentic Ad, which is an MRC accredited product, which ensures that each and every impression that is served is fully viewed by a real person in a brand safe environment in the designated geo, right? And only when all these four metrics are got a green signal do we consider the ad to be authentic. This has been a huge catalyst to our growth, and we still see this creating us as a major differentiator in the market. So now that we've established what are the four pillars of media quality and DV authentic ad, let's get straight to the topic, which is attention. What do you guys think on an average? How many ads do we see in a day per person? Do you think it's 1, 10, 20, 50, just some numbers? 40, okay. Any other guesses? Okay, so it's really not going to be close to what we're assuming it to be. So Forbes recently launched a report where it said that more than 4,000 ads are seen per day per person. And that's not even a surprising number. Just a fraction of those ads have really got a chance to be seen by your end user. So today brands are talking to us about when will I get my ROI, when will someone get converted? But the first question to ask is, did they get an opportunity to even see the ad, right? So at DoubleVerify, we had our advertisers typically have 5 to 10% on the higher side of what the IAB standard definition is of viewability. But does higher viewability necessarily mean higher performance? Most certainly not. And that's where attention comes in, right? We need to move beyond viewability, reach, frequency to something that's actually more actionable. So DV Authentic Attention is built on top of DV Authentic Ad, which we just spoke about, covers four basic metrics: brand safety, fraud, viewability, and geo. Then we evaluate 50 plus data points at the impression level itself, which takes two dimensions into consideration, right? First is engagement and second is exposure. Both of them play a very critical role in understanding how your users treating your ad. when I talk about authentic attention, now this becomes a new definition of media quality and verification for all your performance campaigns. Like all our solutions, TV Authentic Attention is also MRC accredited. It's a privacy friendly measurement. So we talk about third party cookie deprecation, device ID is not going to be present in the future. Luckily for us at DoubleVerify, that's never really been a problem. Our solutions do not depend on these third party signals. We analyze 50 plus data points and then we conclude it to be the attention index, right? This attention index is based on two components. Exposure, which is to my left, it talks about the measurement of my ad present. And then comes engagement. How is the user interacting with my ad? Interaction of the ad is the direct response to how is the engagement. To dig a little deeper into this, exposure typically takes into consideration two things. One is intensity, second is prominence. So if today you as an advertiser are putting an ad on, let's say, a desktop, how much of it is actually being viewable on the screen, right? And then next comes the prominence index. So let's say if I'm using my ad on the tablet or on the desktop, is it 25% of the ad? Is it 7% of the ad? So typically you can't have a 300 by 250 on the mobile also and on the desktop having the same impact. On your mobile phone, it will easily cover 20 to 25% of your screen, whereas on the desktop, it might be just 7%. So we need to make smart choices based on these kind of reports, right? And then talking about exposure engagement, this is more about how is my user interacting with the ad. Are they playing it? Are they pausing it? Are they putting it on mute? Are they increasing the volume? So these kind of touch points are evaluated by us. How does this work? So DV Authentic Attention typically takes into consideration a score of 100, right? So what that means, on the left you can see is the engagement index, and on the bottom we have exposure. So we take both these indexes into consideration. So if you look in this slide, 132 is the attention index. So what that means is 100 is my benchmark for my ad to be at par with what the industry benchmark is. So let's say if it's 132, that means by a 32%, you are overachieving based on your campaign into consideration with the other campaigns running in the market at the same time. And this clearly is a phenomena of engagement. So probably for this campaign, users were engaging more with the ad. So with a 132% attention and 144 engagement, is there scope of betterment? 100% yes. Because if you see closely, exposure is at a 88%. And what that means is that it's still not 100, it's below 100. So this is where you start digging deeper using our dashboard, our reports, that okay, now that I know that my attention score is say 132, but my exposure is 88, how can I make this better? How do I make smarter choices? If I have to go back to my agency and say, make creative changes, make placement changes, do different buy types, how do I go about it? And this all starts with one very, very simple but very important point, which is measurement. You have to first start with measurement. I couldn't stress more on this. Brands and agencies need to look at this as an always on approach, monitoring your campaign performances. So, as you start, your first point is how is my campaign performing against the baseline industry standard? How is it performing against the trended attention data? And then you can move to the right where you see how is it performing with regards to top performing dimensions and strategies. So if I talk about media type against video and display, creative wise, which creative is working better for me? So you can go back to your creative agency and pass on suggestions. By type. So let's say I'm doing a campaign where I'm running my ad on 10 to 15 publishers. And with the report, I now understand that on XYZ publisher, I'm getting much, much better engagement for my audiences beyond viewability. I can probably do a direct buy with them, and I don't have to do a 10 publisher buy anymore. But for all of these learnings, you need to actually spend some time and dig deeper into these kind of reports. This will 100% help you uncover your optimization opportunities on the longer run. This is just a quick screenshot of what our dashboard looks like. We have a lot more of these, but I'm just going to touch base on 2 to 3 of them because we're short of time. Here on the left, you can see an opportunity to improve your performance. So let's say I'm running 10 to 15 campaigns, and I understand what's my industry benchmark. Against that, as you can see over here, the campaign 37 has a sizable amount of impressions, and at the same time, it's coming closer to my industry benchmark. So, A, I could probably shift budgets from campaign A to campaign B. Or I could try and understand what exactly have I done in this campaign that I'm getting higher exposure and engagement that can be replicated to the other campaigns, right? On the right side, if you see the heat map to understand based on the media type insights. So if you look at display ads and video ads, probably a small size creative works better on smartphone and app, but not so much so on desktop. And similarly on video, you'll be surprised to know that for my particular ad, I don't have to do all my campaigns to 7 seconds or 15 seconds. I can also do a 30-seconder, but I need to find which is the right designation for it, what publisher, what device works better. So we don't need to actually eliminate, but just make smart choices and changes around it. Here's another classic example where we're seeing that most of our budgets are parked on desktop and smartphone, but if you see from engagement and exposure standpoint, it's below 100. So what I can do is from this graph, I can draw a conclusion that, okay, I can shift my budgets more towards a smartphone or a tablet. Or if there is a chance that maybe a 300 by 250 creative is used as a common creative standard measurement across all these device types. Like I spoke of this earlier, a 300 by 250 on a mobile is a good 20 25% of the screen. But on the desktop, it's just 7%. So with this learning, I'll go back and check what is the creative size and do I need to actually shift budgets towards a tablet or change the creative size. I think this is a very proud slide for us because we've seen that through DV Authentic Attention, we've helped numerous of our clients in different industries, different markets, different verticals solve for the business outcomes. And when I say business outcomes, from top of the funnel to bottom of the funnel, you can see over here with CPG, they talk about brand awareness as an objective. When they took higher exposure as the driving factor and used our reports to better optimize, they saw 8 to 9% increase in their brand availability. Yeah. Then coming to auto, which is stark difference, bottom of the funnel. They are primarily focused on conversions. They want leads, test drives. Auto is also very heavy on focusing on creatives. So they use DoubleVerify reports to understand what are the top performing creatives. And based on that, when they made changes, they saw an increase in conversion by 171%. These are some huge numbers, and we need to remember that when we talk about viewability and attention, brand safety, fraud, geo, it's not really limited to branding. Your first buy is the impression. At the impression level itself, if you ensure it's of good quality, it will automatically ensure that your objectives or your conversions or your time spent or visits all are taken care of. Awesome. So just as I get a cue, I have only 5 minutes left, and that's exactly what I need. This year at DoubleVerify, we did some really good partnerships. We make a confirmed and a cognizant choice to ensure that we do whatever we can to stay a little more relevant to the requirements of the market. Like I said, we first saw that basic media quality was a problem, so we launched DV Authentic Ad. Then we realized that viewability is becoming redundant, so we topped that with exposure and engagement. Now we're seeing that monies are moving towards CTV. So our goal is that whatever matrix we provide you all to ensure media quality on open web or on any other platform, we do the same for CTV. And that's exactly why we've partnered with TVision. DoubleVerify is big on scale and ad exposure. TVision is very much known for eye on screen signals and viewer presence. So, combining these two, we aim at a holistic attention measurement for your CTV campaigns. Lastly, Cybits. So we recently acquired Cybits. They are best in class for AI technology. AI technology, as we know, is booming constantly. So with DoubleVerify's proprietary product of DV Authentic Ad and Cybits' best in class AI technology, we're trying to help advertisers and agencies go and buy the best performing inventory at the best price, but without compromising on the scale, right? So I think that's that from me. As next steps, I couldn't emphasize more on partnering with a platform that can help you A, measure, B, activate DV authentic attention for you. More importantly, once you activate it, do not look at this as a one time solution. If you understand that my attention matrix is, say, 130% and you think it's way above the industry benchmark, most of our content is on user generated platforms. So it has to be an always on optimization. And we are here to support you all from the start. We are locally present. We have a team physically present in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. So do reach out to us, and we are happy to help and see the industry evolve better. Thank you so much for your time.